And then this. Welcome, everybody. Forget what buttons to push. Sorry about that. Welcome again on another Friday night. I'm so glad you guys are here. So, um, it's been kind of a chaotic week, and but that's okay because I seem to perform the best by the seat of my pants. So that's all right. If I could get a mic check from somebody because I did not have a chance to check it out before. So the levels look okay in Ecamm. So there was a thing. Um, in order to get the special on Ecamm, it was for new subscribers only, but it was, but that didn't mean you couldn't have ever used it before. So I closed my other Ecamm account and opened a new one to get the special pricing. And I forgot I did that. So when I went to get everything set up, it said your subscription has expired. And I'm like, ah! I completely forgot about it. Thankfully, it was somewhat seamless. I just had to put a few passwords in and confirm a few things, and everything carried over with it. So I still have to set up my laptop, but it was, I kind of went into panic mode for a minute because I didn't expect it, and so I didn't really make a time slot to fix it because I didn't know I was going to have to. But and that was my bad. I just forgot. Just totally forgot. But anyway, let's see who is roaming about on this Friday night. Lewis, used your link, bud. Hi, everyone. Lewis is our Mr. Ecamm spokesperson. He is on the their advertisement, like when you go in the very first page, like he's ahead of everybody else, and he's got kind of a cool story as to how that happened. So how you doing? And I think it's working seamlessly. It seems like everything transferred over beautifully. So we'll see. But yeah, if somebody give me a thumbs up or thumbs down on the mic, that'd be great. Randy's saying, hi Sly. Hi Randy. How are you? We've had a little bit of a warm front that is ending tonight. It's been like 70 degrees here during the day for the past 2 days. So we got a little respite from the cold, but it's supposed to get cold again tonight. So Randy and I are in the same geographic location. He's just about, I think, what are you, about 8 or 10 hours kind of southwest of me? And Roy and I are not in the same geographic location. He's on the other side of the world. Good day, Sly. Good day, Roy. Glad you're here, bud. And Sammy. Sammy says, sounds great. Thank you very much, Sammy. You have been a big help, bud. And Randy says it sounds good. Okay. Lewis. Okay. Congratulations, young man. Lewis got married, apparently. Didn't tell anybody, right? What is up with that, bud? He put it on Facebook, or I don't think he put it on Facebook. I think his bride put it on Facebook. And then tagged him, is how I saw it. So, congratulations, bud. That is huge. I'm so happy for you. So, that's just, it is so exciting to think you're starting your new life as a new little family, and yeah, I'm super stoked for you. And Lewis saying, yeah, sounds good. And Funnel Fest. Tell me what your name is again, because I really don't remember. I'm so sorry. I think, and you'll have to refresh if I'm right or not, but because I do try to see what my subscribers are about, and if I remember right, I remember you do, like, is it football games or concerts, or you do something where there's a lot of people and you're like tailgating or something. Like tailgate partying. Not tailgating, but tailgate party type stuff. And you look like you're having a blast doing it. So it's a very happy channel. But I don't remember your name. And he says, dang, I'll take 70. Yes. Yes. When you have been living with, it's been in the high 20s, low 30s at night. And I work nights and I work outside. So you really have to bundle up when you're out in the cold for 8 or 10 hours. It gets really in your bones, so to speak. So, okay, thank you so much, Sly. I loved your comment. Engaged. Okay, so you're not married yet. Okay, the post made it look like you guys were married. Just saying. So you are going to let us know when the big day is and kind of let us celebrate with you, please? Because we're your family here, bud, and we would love, love, love to do that. And you need to make a video and introduce her to everybody and, you know, that whole thing. Just saying. And Lewis is saying congratulations to you. And Lewis, the other Lewis and Luis. We have a Luis now at work. And he made it very, very, very clear that it is Luis, not Lewis. So I don't think Mr. Camera Junkie is that, I don't think it's that big a deal to him, but apparently it is some people. So, true, it's a yearly worldwide competition that happens every year in July. And it looked like it was a lot of fun, but unless you want me to call you Funnel Fest, I don't know your name. So, Funnel Fest makes me hungry because it makes me think of funnel cakes, which I dearly love. Talk about high in carbs. Oh yeah. And you started or maybe the competition started in 1997. Yeah, my children are older than that. So, competition for what? And if the music's too loud, let me know, because I think I turned it down, but it sounds like maybe borderline if it's too loud or not. I can usually tell by if I can hear it, it's usually too loud being coming over to you guys. So I usually have to turn it down a little bit, but that's okay. And it should have some Christmas mixed in there amongst the goodies. So it is getting very, very close to Christmas time. I hope everybody has most of their shopping done. They are still having some fantastic sales. Yeah, I just picked up two more bags for videos at stupid cheap prices because they were having a sale, and then on top of the sale they had a discount code. So yeah, they were like, I don't know, I think it was $230 bag for $75, something like that. So there are still a lot of really good bargains, and depending on where you are and where the company is that you're buying from, you need about a 10 to 12 day lead time for them to be able to ship it to you in time for Christmas. So we may have 17 days left till the big event, but shopping days you don't. So, I mean, if you're in Oklahoma and you're ordering from Texas, you can get it in 2 days. But if you're in Florida and you're ordering from California, it's going to take 10 or 12 days to get it to you. So bear that in mind. And if you're in Canada and ordering from the US, it may take even longer. And if you're in Australia, dude, you're on your own island. So at this point, I think you probably should find something made in Australia, because I think you guys are out of time. Lewis says, absolutely, you will be the first to know. Love you all. Awesome. Okay. Because I love it when you're here, Lewis. You put a smile on everybody's face. So that's awesome. Lewis says, I'm looking through the photos, and if I could do it differently, I might have shot the pictures in JPEG instead of RAW because of the buffer. What do you think? I'm an amateur, so I shoot everything in JPEG. It's just easier for me. If I get the color right where in the camera where I don't have to edit it a lot in post, and then when I see it, it's like yay or nay. I think RAW is for people who want to edit the picture in post. So if you know you're going to have to dress it up or something, shoot in RAW. If you want to use it straight out of the camera, shoot in JPEG. That's that's my take on it. I don't know if that's right or wrong. There's a whole bunch of people in here that know a lot more than I do. So yeah, if you guys tell Lewis if that's holds any water or if I'm, full of hot air, because that's been said before. Lewis said, would you rather shoot photos in JPEG and higher ISO but absolutely get the shot, or shoot in RAW and lower ISO and possibly miss it, but you get more flexibility when you edit? Yes, you do get more flexibility, but like I said, when I see the digital image, how you take a picture and it shows you for like 5 seconds or whatever the picture, that's basically what I go off of. I can edit videos. It's not one of my favorite things. So, and I did move some lighting around tonight, and I don't think I have it exactly how I want it yet, but I had already done the schedule thing, and so you can't really, it's blurred out, so you can't really see what you're doing. But I wanted my Christmas tree to show up, and it was with the light set back where it normally is, it was not showing up. It's a fiber optic tree, so it's not real bright, but yeah, it wasn't showing up like at all. So I moved the light, and now I think I've got, I don't know, I think maybe I'm looking a little washed out, not 100% sure, but it's good enough. But I did get my tree up, yay. And so when my kids were little, this is kind of a tradition. Every year, whatever they had been into that year. So you know how little kids get fixated on something, and some of them may stay fixated on it for a couple of years. A lot of times it's a yearly thing. And last year was the dinosaurs. Well, the first probably 3 years of his life was dinosaurs. And he still likes dinosaurs, don't get me wrong. But now we're all about Sonic the Hedgehog. So, so every year I get an ornament symbolizing what they were into that year. And as they grow, it's kind of interesting to see, like on the big tree, we go from, I think, Barney the dinosaur to, eventually we get up to like Batman. We go through Barney and Thomas and the tank engine, and eventually we get up into the Dark Knight and the bigger action figures for my son. And then my daughter, oh my gosh, she had so many years of Barbie. We have several different Barbie ornaments, and then she got into Precious Moments, and as she, so it just kind of is a way you can kind of watch their growth on the Christmas tree. So I'm going to do it with my grandson. So we've got some dinosaurs on there, and then this year he got to put a Sonic ornament on it. So that was kind of cool. Let's see, where did I leave off? I'm really bad about stars, putting stars, yeah. Funnel Fest. The competition started in 1997. 32-person tournament. Who can funnel a beer the fastest? Okay, I would lose that one. I think my throat is like little bitty because I can't chug very well at all. So people take it very seriously, although it's still a lot of fun and mostly a party for most. Yes, that would be a huge amount of fun. Roy is saying raw is better to fix up mistakes. Yes, if you want to fix anything, color correction, your white balance, anything, if you shoot in raw, you have that flexibility, which you don't in JPEG. If you want to just run down and take your card out and put it in Walmart's little thing and print your photos, JPEG is the way to go. So most cameras are nearly as fast in RAW as in JPEG these days. Yeah, but then you got to edit them. I think RAW looks a lot flatter because you are supposed to edit them. So Lewis says, Roy, on my GoPro, RAW can shoot one picture every 5-second interval. Wow. And in JPEG, it's 2-second intervals. Okay. So I might have gotten better results in JPEG, but I don't know. It depends on what you were shooting. Because I know, like, you know, if you're shooting 4-year-olds playing soccer, you definitely need the JPEG. Because so much can happen in a second with those little guys, right? But if you're shooting, you know, I don't know, maybe a deer in the woods or something that's not really moving a whole lot, then, well, I don't know, deer can move pretty quick too. So I guess it would depend, Lewis, on what you're trying to get. But I would say, as a general rule with your GoPro, to shoot in JPEG. Lewis says, yeah, I think RAW would have been better in this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for the reaction. Okay, if you were shooting her reaction when you popped the question, yeah, I don't know, Lewis. I still think JPEG, because I'm sure she went through a myriad of emotions, and I'm thinking you need to be clicking like every couple, yeah, if that's even fast enough, right? Because a person can change expression a lot in a second, so I don't know. And there's the man of the hour. Hi folks, nice group tonight. Yes, it is. I just had something crawling on me. I don't like crawly things. And I don't know what it was. So hopefully he will go somewhere other than me. Yes, it is a nice group tonight. We're up to 11 and 6. So everybody hit that thumbs up button. I always forget to say anything. But it does help. And apparently what you guys are doing, a couple weeks ago I had asked people just to run my videos to get my watch time hours up, and it's working. So thank you for that, guys. We are at, I think, 31 away from 500. So that is just super. That just blows my mind. Super exciting. At 500, I'm going to do a little giveaway, and I had a friend help me with this because I didn't have a clue how to even go about it. So what you do is I will put a video up soon, probably not tomorrow's, but probably Tuesday's, and it'll give you all the like directions. So there's gonna be 2 different bags, a sling bag and a backpack, and you have to be subscribed first of all. And then you put in the comments hashtag backpack or hashtag sling bag. And so there'll be 2 drawings. And then we'll take all the names for each category. And it's an app. and it's got like the Wheel of Fortune wheel, and you put all the names on this wheel, and you can put as many as you want to, and then you just hit spin, and it randomly chooses a name. And so that's how we're gonna do it. I don't know if I can film that part. I will try, but I don't know how I would get that, how I would link my phone to. I don't know enough about this. This is my first time, so but I will try, and we're gonna give away a couple of bags. So sorry guys, mainland USA only because of the shipping. I'm paying the shipping, and Australia and Canada are a little pricey to ship outside the US. So, plus I don't think I could get it to you in time for Christmas. So there's that. Roy says to Lewis, I can understand that with a GoPro, but a camera would have less trouble keeping up in RAW. Most cameras are nearly as fast in RAW as they are JPEG. Yes, that is true. I know with... Now, I have never tried RAW in the M200, but I know in the M6 Mark II, it doesn't have a problem either way. It just... I don't want to edit the photos any more than I have to, right? So, JPEG just works for me. This camera actually looks pretty good tonight. It doesn't really. So, in case you just came in, I moved the light so my Christmas tree would show up better, because it's fiber optic and the lights were not showing up. So, I brought the light forward, and you can't adjust these soft boxes that I have. They're either full on or full off, and so I need some of those grids like Mr. Camera Junkie has on his, because his is like right in his face, and it doesn't look as bright, but that does not look bad. So, can't read the comments from over here, but you know, it is what it is. Where'd I go? Okay. Lewis says, I mean, JPEG would have been better than RAW for the once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to get shot. Yes. That's just my opinion. Everybody has one, and probably everybody will tell you something different too. So, yeah. I hope you not only... Now, here is something that I have noticed. I don't take near as many pictures because I can take a video and then pull out a frame, which is really nice, because then you don't have to worry about missing anything. So in Final Cut Pro, I can just go through the whole video, and I just pull out frames and save those as, you know, I'll give them a name, give them a title, and then I can take those down and have those, put those on a memory stick and have those printed. So I am thinking of doing a 16 by 20 canvas for my daughter, because they have some that look really cool. If I can get my little monster to cooperate, which it's been some weeks I work 4 days, some weeks I work 3 days. On the weeks I work 3 days, keeping him is no problem. On the weeks I work 4 days, it's a little harder, because I get almost 50 hours in 4 days. And so I'm usually really, really tired. And he's only here for like 24 hours. So it's a little harder for me to get good shots of him. But I do have vacation coming up. So we should be getting a lot of pictures, if it's not too late to make the canvas print. Yeah. I didn't plan that one really well. I should have taken vacation at the beginning of December. Royce is talking to Lewis, saying, I can understand that with a GoPro, but a camera would have less trouble keeping up in RAW. Absolutely. Or you can just video the whole thing and then just extract the pictures that you actually want. And there's Carlos, Motivated Minds. Hey, Sly. Hey, Carlos. How you doing, bud? Let's see. It's 11 here, so it must be about 9 o'clock there. Time zones really throw me for a loop. I don't know why, but I don't really know where the cutoff is. I just know California is far enough west that you're 2 hours behind me, and Florida is far enough east that you're an hour in front of me. So, don't know where the dividing line is. I think it's somewhere around Arizona, maybe. And as far as west, well, you have Mountain Time Zone, and then you have Pacific Time Zone. And then east is just east. So, but I don't know where the dividing line is. So it's much easier when everybody's, like, Randy's in Texas below me. Mark is in Chicago above me, so they're easy. Peter says, raw JPEG stills video, get the shot. Without the shot, you ain't got nothing, honey, right? So that's 100% true. I always have the camera rolling because it is so much easier to delete footage. You can't do anything with footage you don't have. Lewis says, Peter is absolutely right. You can't edit nothing. That's right. Prioritizing getting the shot versus not. Yes. Yes, you can always clean up a photo. Even if you grab a shot out of a video, you can still tweak that a little bit. So absolutely something is better than nothing. Roy says, time to ditch the GoPro. Well, Lewis, I believe, if my memory, which has a lot of holes in it, I admit, but don't you have an M? An EOS M? Just not the M100 or 200, just the M? That takes brilliant photos. Lewis says, yeah, you're right. It's like even 1 second intervals would be better. Yes. Yes. And were you out and about where the weather was poorly, or you needed an action camera? I think if I was going to propose, I would definitely take the M6, unless we're somewhere where that might get damaged. And the M camera is a wonderful little camera, and you can, like, it's so small you can put it about the same place that you put the GoPro. I've been carrying the Osmo 4 religiously with me. I think it's in this one. I have way too many bags. Yeah, it is. Okay. This little pouch, it fits in just perfect. And I just put that in the bottom of the backpack, so I always have the camera with me. It's kind of like having a camera bag with me all the time. And I did reconfigure my my little camera backpack for the M6. I took it out and I reconfigured it so I could fit this in the microphone and everything else. I still think I prefer the Tascam over the DJI mic, but it's early days still. So I'm not gonna say that I haven't 100% made up my mind. Let's leave it at that. But yes, this little M200 does not take up hardly any more space than that Action 4. I mean, they're real close in size, and the M200 is reasonably fast. I don't think it's not near as fast as the M6, but that's okay. It's not near as expensive either. Roy is right. Time to retire the GoPro, or at least upgrade, maybe to an Osmo Action. So I don't know which GoPro you have, but, and I don't know if you watched the video where I compared the original Osmo to the Osmo 4, but I gotta tell you, for the price difference, if I was just starting out, man, you can get a original Osmo Action in, I think they got them, like, I don't know where they got them, but they got like, I don't know, 50 of them. So they can't all be used, right? And they all say excellent condition, and they come in the original packaging and yada yada yada, for 150 bucks on MPB. So for 150 bucks, the original Osmo Action is a fantastic camera. You know, I'm just kind of, sometimes you get sucked into wanting to have the latest and greatest, and I really was hoping that the Osmo 4 would put the original Osmo to shame. In my opinion, it did not. Now, it does have some nice features that the original Osmo does not. For instance, the microphone issue with, yes I do, right here, look at that. With the original Osmo Action, you absolutely have to use a microphone adapter. Right there. It's not going to do it because it's not going to seem, yeah. So it will, even if you have a USB-C microphone, which I have two, the camera will not recognize it. You have to use the adapter. And part of the problem is it's not real heavy, but it is some weight, and it's being held in by is this little bitty USB-C. And then you've got the microphone plugged in, and it tends to wiggle its way out. And so you have to keep checking the screen to make sure the mic icon is still on there. So what I ended up doing on one of because I have two original Osmos, on one of them I ended up taking a rubber band and securing this so it couldn't wiggle its way out. On the newer one, that's not an issue, because even though it's still USB-C, the microphone's plugged directly into the USB-C, and the camera recognizes it. So far, I've not had anything wiggle out and turn the microphone off. But, you know, that's, with me, that is a very, very likely scenario. It is going to happen eventually. Just, you could take that to the bank. With the Tascam, I don't even have to worry about it. Oh, and I found out something cool. I thought this was cool. It's so minor that nobody else will think it's cool, but I thought it was cool. So I had on my Christmas 2 hoodie that I just absolutely love, and I had my hands in the pocket, and I felt a little slit. And I'm thinking, never noticed that before, because it's not like down where your hands would be. It's like at the top of the kangaroo pocket, right? And so I'm like, well, that's cool. You can run your headphones. I'm sure that's what it's for. But then when you get to the hood part, it has two little loops to run your headphone like through. So if you take your headphone out, it only drops that far. What a perfect place for a lav mic. Just more reasons to love that hoodie. Yeah, I don't know how to recreate that, because I don't think it has a brand in it. But yeah, it's still my favorite hoodie. Lewis says, thank you for the constructive feedback. Everyone love you. We love you too, Lewis. A lot. Right? So don't be a stranger, bud. Roy says, always carry a real camera just in case. I've been really pleased with the Action 4, and I honestly have not taken my M6 probably for the last 2 weeks. I reconfigured the camera bag, which my camera bag is very, very small, and I absolutely love it because it is small, but there's not room for both. So I've just been taking And then if I don't want to take the camera bag, a couple of days I just took a backpack, a plain backpack, and just put this in there. So yeah, it just kind of depends. Sometimes I change bags too much and I can't find I forget where I put stuff. And there's Jeff. Glad you made it, Jeff. Hey Sly, how are you tonight? Just finished part of my Christmas shopping. Yeah, we were just talking about that. That Christmas may be 17 days away, but the shopping days are not, especially if you're ordering online. So, in fact, I need to get to the post office and get some stuff mailed. I think I have already missed the deadline for England. I've got a package, excuse me, a package going to England. And, excuse me, that's why I'm limiting the giveaway to the continental U.S. because the package I'm sending to England doesn't even weigh a pound. We're talking ounces, and it's going to be like $43, right? So, and it's going to take forever to get there. So, she may not get it before Christmas, but that's okay. Lewis says, real camera would be nice if I could hide it without giving away the surprise. But you're right. Well, that little M camera, I'm thinking it would fit in a pocket. Unless you had on really tight jeans. And you're in Canada, it's cold there. It would definitely fit in your jacket pocket. And she would never know. And you could just kind of set it up and aim at the right general direction. The sound is... But if you're just wanting to extract pictures, sound is not an issue. But if you're wanting to remember the whole scenario and you needed a video of the whole thing, then sound might be an issue. But I've watched a lot of videos on sound and where they place microphones like on movie sets and stuff, and a lot of times they'll run a microphone like on the table and hide it with a napkin, which I thought was genius. Roy says pulling out stills from video is always a compromised last resort. It is, but it's so much. I don't have to worry about getting the shot. And with a 4-year-old, they move so fast, and I don't. So he's all the time telling me, that I'm old. That's all right. Lewis says, how do you get a frame from Final Cut Pro from a video, like a screenshot or an actual frame? So, yeah, it's, I think it says save current frame. So you just scrub through until you get to the frame that you want, and then save current frame and extract that. They're not perfect by any means, and they're not professional photography quality, like if you posed photographer, but for on-the-go shots, I think, let's see if I can turn this where you can see it. This picture frame right here, I'm pretty sure every one of those was shot on either a phone or extracted from a video, and they're fine. The pictures may not be perfect, but they help you relive the moment, and that's what a picture is supposed to do. So, Louis says, in my mind, I set the GoPro hidden on a time-lapse mode, taking photos and video on the EOS M. Okay. Well, that's cool. Then you're not missing anything, right? If you've got a backup video, you're good to go. And Roy says, it depends on how much action in the proposal. If I know Lewis, it was probably filled with action. He's very animated, which is awesome. Carlos says EOS M takes amazing photos with Magic Lantern. Yes, they made a software program, and Lewis, I think we've talked about this before, about with Magic Lantern, it turns the EOS M into, is it almost an M100 or an M200? I'm not sure. But I know it hugely upgrades that camera. Lewis says, maybe I'll make a video one day of the behind the scenes so I can dissect the whole process. But I was probably prioritizing that it was discreetly filmed while I'm not babysitting it behind the lens. So there comes a time, Lewis, especially if you do live streaming, where you just have to trust that you've got everything set as good as you possibly can. And especially in live streaming, life is going to happen, right? Something always could have been a little better, but it is what it is, and you got to move forward. So you do the best you can, and then deal with it afterwards. As long as you've got something to work with, you can usually clean it up. Or I make a lot of videos where I go out of order, and then as I'm editing the video, I'm like, well, I should have been talking about that way back when, right? And so I'll cut out like a whole clip and move it back to a different point, because it'll be something I've like forgotten to point out or something. And so with video, you can do that. With still pictures, you can't. And you won't always be behind the camera. It would be fantastic if we could walk around with a little cameraman, right? I would love that. These people who make videos on YouTube that have a dedicated camera person, how easy their life must be. Two guys I watch have a dedicated camera and editing person. They are just the on-screen talent. They have somebody else doing all the work. How nice would that be if we could just walk around and just be the celebrity and have somebody else do all the work? But unfortunately, it doesn't work that way. So you just do the best with what you have, set it up the best you know how, and move forward. What is it? Sean says, you gotta just hit record. Lewis says, the Osmo Action 1, I'm so curious about that, besides the mic. So, I love the Osmo 1. It has, I think it takes a wonderful video. When you compare it to the 4, I don't think there's a $250 difference. But that's just me. If you're not looking at them side by side, I don't think there's a $250 difference. If I have put a lot of videos up with just the original Osmo Action, I have not put a video up with just the Osmo 4 yet. Now I did a comparison video, and I think I probably need to do another one on a sunny day. I don't think those are going to happen until the spring. We have had nothing but rain or cloudy days for as long as I can think back. I know at least a month, because it's getting depressing. Yeah, I don't get to see a lot of daylight anyway, and so on my days off, it'd be nice if we would have some sunshine. And the sunshine came out today for 20 minutes, and then it went back to cloudy again. And the cold front's coming in tonight, so it's going to get cold again, and it's harder for me to want to get out and film something when it's, you have to have 15 layers of clothes on. So Roy says, $43 postage. You should be trying to send stuff from Australia, right? Yeah, it's a little pricey. I'm only sending one gift to England, and but yeah, when you think about, I can send something to Florida for $8, and that weighs twice as much, and then but to send it across the pond, it's very expensive. So, one world, not so much, right? Lewis says that's exactly how I feel. You said it and then you pray. Yeah, pretty much. And eventually, when I took little man to Dinosaur World, I used the M6, and it's a good camera, but I should have taken the time to set up the gimbal and have it on the gimbal. And I should have made him slow down, but it was also 100 degrees outside that day. We were really, really, really hot. And filming a 4-year-old, I think, is just better off on an action camera. I did the whole, we went to Great Wolf Lodge for his birthday, and I did the whole thing on the original Osmo Action, and it turned out ridiculously good. So I have a lot of footage. I took hours and hours of footage, mostly us doing the little quest thing that they have for the little kids. And so I've got to edit that down to 6 or 7 minutes where there's no children involved, because apparently YouTube doesn't like it when you put children in your videos. So, and that's okay. I mean, if that's what the rules are, that's fine. But there's one shot that's an amazing shot, and I really do want to get it out there on YouTube. It's just I haven't had time to work on it. We went down this water slide like 50 times, right? And when I say a water slide, it's like an enclosed tube, and it's got some like pinpoints of LED light. So it's still very, very dark, and you go from this really bright open area into this dark tube, and the Osmo actually did amazing. And so I really want to get that footage, and that's just of me. I had the camera, you go down like feet first, and you go down this tube, and I had the camera sitting on my belly, and it was amazing what it picked up. So I really want to get that edited. Maybe the week of my vacation, I'll get around to that. Oh my goodness, Sly, you have such a wonderful, wonderful perspective. Well, I don't know about that, but thank you. I just know there's not... I haven't always felt this way. Okay, this has been a learned... because I am older, so this has been a learned thing. But I'm a lot more relaxed now than I used to be about everything. Like, everything. I don't really tend to get upset anymore about anything. And when I was younger, I used to get upset about a lot. So, I don't know if it's my body's mechanism as far as self-preservation, but yeah, I just take things in stride now. And but I haven't always been that way, so I can't tell you that that's how you should be, because you will get there. And I think most people, as they get older, realize that things that they got upset about in their 20s are not relevant anymore. And another thing to realize is when you get upset, nobody else cares. You're the only one it's hurting. So, why bother? So, Jeff says, hey Roy, the GoPro is great. Even the new GoPro, you do not need a subscription to take video or take photos. That's fantastic. The subscription is for some premium stuff. Okay. I can record and use Premiere Pro to edit. Okay. That's awesome. So I take it you got the 12, or did you get the 11? When I had decided to get the Osmo 4 and go that route and get a new action camera. Okay, let me back up. When I decided to get a new action camera, I was trying to decide between the 4 and the 11. because I don't think you needed the subscription for the 11 either. So I didn't really look into the 12 that much. Or maybe I did. They were both the same base price. I just, and then I think it was actually Jeff that said, hey, you're comfortable with the DJI system, so why don't you stay with that? And that's kind of, they were neck and neck. That's kind of what pushed me over, is he was 100% right. I was comfortable 100% with the DJI system already. I know where all the controls and everything are. They did change them up a little bit, so in the end it probably wouldn't have mattered, but the Osmo 4 it's a nice camera. What I'm not impressed with is that I bought the DJI mic to go with the DJI Osmo Action 4, made by the same people, so it should hook up with no glitches, right? And apparently the internal interface for the mic is not great. So I thought it was the microphone was not great, but when I plugged the mic into the M6 Mark II, it sounds phenomenal. You plug it into the Action 4, mediocre at best. So I was not that impressed with it. And when you plug it into the original Osmo with the adapter, it's still kind of mediocre. So to me, it doesn't sound that much better than the $99 microphone. So, but in the M6, it actually sounds remarkably good. So there's that. So I ended up keeping the DJI mic, but I was just disappointed that it didn't gel with the Osmo Action better. So Lewis says it's just so interesting. How do you discern between the M6 or the Osmo, because they're different? How do I discern between them? Well, the M6 is by far and above a better camera than the Osmo Action, in that it has a bigger sensor. It takes a sharper, cleaner shot. It takes sharper, cleaner video. But it has its limitations. So, as I have proven, unless you have a gimbal, you don't want to use the M6 Mark II to chase a 4-year-old. So it really depends on what you're doing. You know, if you're out and about and you're just walking around, the image stabilization is probably good enough. But if you're running after a 4-year-old, or you're walking at a fast trot or something, it's just, yeah, it can't keep up. So if you have a gimbal, which I do, and I think I even had it with me, but, you know, he was, I don't know if you watched that video, but he was like, I think he probably said granny over 1,000 times, and I took out 900 of them, right? It was just a constant from as soon as you walk through the gift shop to buy your tickets, and as soon as we hit the door into Dinosaur World, man, he's off at a run, and he's like, come on, Granny, come on, Granny. And the action camera would have been better for that scenario. So I think if I knew that I was going to purposely go out and record something for YouTube, I would definitely take the M6. Yes. If I'm recording something for, like, say, the family, like when we went to the cave, I took the M6. That footage is just about unusable. It was just too dark in the cave. What's interesting is the original Osmo Action, which does not do good in low light, did better than the M6. So, and you know, so it just depends on your use case. And I don't think there's any one camera that will do everything. The Osmo Actions, you can get wet. It was perfect for that water slide. I even had a guy come up because he saw me filming everything and came up and asked me, you know, what I was doing and if it was a camera. And I'm like, yeah, it's an action camera. And he's like, so you're not worried about it getting wet? And at this point, when he came up and had this conversation with me, I am drenched head to toe, right? The camera is drenched. I mean, everything is just like we just literally had stepped out of a shower. And I'm like, no, I don't have to worry about it at all. You know, it can go down the water slides. It can go in the pool. I mean, I didn't have to worry about it at all. Obviously, having the M6 in that environment, it would have ruined the camera. So, yeah, it's definitely, that's a pretty easy way to pick which camera do I need to take today, you know, type thing. You're right, Sly. No need to be upset about it. Enjoy life. 100%. 100%. And I have found that, because Lewis, it took me several years to get here, that once I'd started worrying less about just everything, I did start enjoying life more. So, one of the Wandered backpack, I think, says worry less, wander more. Well, yeah, the less you worry about everything, I don't care what it is. The only person that worrying affects is you. So if you can't pay your electric bill, worrying about it only hurts you. Ask for help, right? That's really, really a hard thing it was hard for me. I understand it's harder for a man to ask for help. But people want to help people, you'll find. And that was a hard lesson for me to learn. So, yeah, even something as mundane as that, just ask for help. So, I still struggle with that a little bit. But I do tend to not worry about things to the point, like I've gone the other end of the spectrum. So there is that. Roy says an action camera is cheaper than any waterproof housing. Yes, and I just think the waterproof housing, the videos that I've seen where they've used it, it puts something on the video. I don't know if I just don't like it. When I see footage of even like professional documentaries and stuff, their cameras just have a look to them because they're in a waterproof housing. Now, I understand if you've got a $5,000 camera, it's probably going to take a better shot than a GoPro. I get that, even in a waterproof housing. Personally, I just like the look better of the GoPro. So, Lewis says, thank you for sharing your experience with us tonight, Sly. So, you're welcome, Lewis. Jeff says, I still own the Hero 7, but use the 12, and you do not need a subscription. The Osmo Action 3 and the GoPro 12 are both great cameras. Use what you feel comfortable with. Okay, so the 3, when the 3 came out, it got a bad reputation right off the get-go because they released it with a focusing issue. And so everybody was really, really excited to get the 3, and then they start filming with it and they're like, it won't focus. What is up with this? And so the reputation of the 3 tanked immediately, and sales reflected that. So I'm pretty sure what they did is they used the same body, because all the accessories that came out for the 3 are will fit the 4. So I think they used the same body. They just took the guts out, rebranded it 4, put in a bigger sensor, fixed the focusing firmware issue, and voila, you have an Osmo 4, and we can charge $400 for this. But I think it's really probably, well, it does have the bigger sensor, but they didn't have to retool for the housing. It's got the same housing. Lewis says, yes, I have the GoPro Hero 7 and I still enjoy my life. And Jeff, which ones are your favorite? So, yeah. Do you notice a huge difference between the 7 and the 12? Like, have you compared them side by side? Is it worth... I mean, that's a 5-step upgrade. So I would think, yes, it should be a fantastic upgrade. So I did, switching gears just real quick, and we're not going to stay on much longer, but so you know, I am a born shopper. A lot of women like to shop, and that they call it retail therapy. But one of the things that I have noticed, now I don't know if you saw my video on these little X-Pack. I don't even know. Oh, right here. These little X-Pack. This is like my all-time favorite wallet ever. I love the feel of this thing. This is just like a admin pouch, but they're not expensive. They're great stocking stuffers. But the hottest selling item this year, and every year it's something. You know, one year it was Tickle Me Elmo. It was like the thing that you couldn't find. Everybody was sold out. You could not find them anywhere. Well, this year, it is the Stanley Quencher H2O. I have absolutely no idea why. I mean, it's a nice cup. Okay, don't get me wrong. It's a nice cup. But this is this year's hottest selling item. Stores cannot get enough of these. If anybody is looking for one, because Amazon, they're selling them now. They're price gouging on Amazon now, like $60, $70. They retail for $35. So if you can find one for $35, that's the MSRP. Okay. But if anybody is looking for one of these, every Lowe's store in the country got a shipment in. They're selling out in about a week. So if you're looking for one of these, head down, and you might still be able to pick them up. I don't know. I think they came in 5 colors, but they take about a week to sell out. And I think I want to say they got 40 per shipment. So they're going quick. I actually have a Hydro Flask tumbler that I think is a little bit bigger, maybe like 2 ounces bigger. This is a 30 ounce, and I think it's a 32, but it's not as tall. And I find that it's a little bigger round up here, but this is the same size, and it fits in my cup holder. And my cup holders in my truck are little, but this is and if I'm going with little man, I usually take a water bottle like this one because it has a lid. But if it's just me, which 6 days of the week, usually it's just me, I like having something I can just pick up. It has a straw. Don't have to take my eyes off the road. So, but yeah, that's if you've been looking for one of these, and apparently a lot of people are, head down to your nearest Lowe's because they might have a few left. They got them in close to a week ago, so I think my store is down to 4 left as of yesterday. So there's that. Just wanted to give you that public service announcement. Lewis says, oh, so skip the 3 and get the 4, or just go for the original. Honestly, Lewis, I would save your money and I would just get the original. Check out MPB. They Everything I have ordered from them has been top notch. Um, I did order an M6 Mark One, and it was in absolutely perfect condition. I had to send it back because it didn't have clean HDMI out. So that was my fault. I thought it did. But the camera itself was in pristine condition. So Debbie got her camera, and again, looked brand new. Had less than 1,000 shutter count, right? And she loves it, by the way. So a little update there on Debbie. She did get her new camera, and she's really enjoying it. She's trying to figure out what everything does, and which is always fun. So, but yes, Lewis, check out MPB. I would probably, especially if I was on a budget, I would get the original Osmo Action. It's actually smaller too. The Osmo 4 is a little bit bigger, but yeah, this is probably. I really, really, really like this camera. I've been using the Osmo 4 just because it's the latest and greatest, but honestly, the footage, if it wasn't for the microphone thing, which I use my Tascam with this anyway, so it's not really an issue. But yes, I would probably go the original instead of paying the extra money for the 4. But that's just me. Jeff says, yes, as soon as I can save the funds, I will be getting the 12. Yes. Okay. Yeah, it's I think the 12 and the 4 were both $3.99. I opted to get the battery. I think they call it the Adventure Pack, maybe, where you get 3 batteries and a cute little charging case, which I really like, being able to plug one thing in instead of having to. The charger for the original, it's not a case, but it does charge 3 batteries at once, and I like that. And so when it was another $100, but they offered a charging case for the Osmo 4, and it actually has a lid, which this would be nice if it had a lid, but it is what it is. It just one plug-in, you charge 3 batteries, so I like that, and so I opted to spend the extra $100. Roy says, my house is a workshop. The wife shops while I work. Well, so I learned a couple of years ago, 3 years ago maybe, I bought so many Christmas presents that I had to pay somebody to wrap them because I couldn't get it all done. And I don't want to do that again. And not only had to pay somebody to wrap them, but then you have to transport them, right? So I decided maybe everybody needs a little bit more expensive gift, but not as many of them. So keeping my budget the same, just getting more expensive gifts, and you only get like 3. So much less wrapping for me. It's less opening for, those that care about that. But Lewis says, interesting, the Stanley is the one that people want, right? You would think it would be like the Yeti, or Arctic makes a really good insulated cup. My favorite is the Hydro Flask, just because this sounds so stupid. It has a flexible straw, and I think none of the rest of mine do. I have it starts with an R. I can't remember the name of it. But I have a bunch of these, and they all have the straw, and the Hydro Flask is the only one that has a flexible straw. So, you know, if you're trying to be discreet, I really like the flexible straw. But I suppose you can buy silicone straws and make any of them flexible, right? Roy says $35 for a drink bottle. Are you joking? Not even a little bit, right? And they're actually selling at $60 and $70 because everybody is sold out. So people are really price gouging. Jeff says, yes, the 12 is worth the upgrade if you can afford it, but I have no issues with the Hero 7 shot in 4K, can shoot 120 FPS. The Hero 12 is beautiful, Sly. I meant to say the Osmo 4, but it hit 3. Yes. Yes. Lewis says, I'm learning so much. Yeah, well, yeah, I've always said this group, not me particularly, but this group is a wealth of knowledge. And you will always glean something from a conversation with any of these people, right? I think Roy probably knows more than a lot of us collectively, right? Peter, wealth of knowledge. Lewis, Mr. Camera Junkie, wealth of knowledge. I mean, he will say something so like inconsequential to him, and it will be like this huge revelation to me, right? And I'm just, wait, what did you say? You know, and have to go play rewind and all this stuff. So I learned so much from these guys. Yeah, it's just amazing. But guys, you've got 17 days left. Roy is a big head. That's funny, Roy. No, you're just a wealth of knowledge because you've experienced a lot of this stuff. So, yes, you've probably forgotten more than most people know, right? So, yes, thank you. So, guys, I know it's a room full of guys, and guys are the world's worst about waiting until Christmas Eve to do your shopping. So if you don't have a lady friend to do it for you, get out there, make it a goal to get all your shopping done by next week. That way you have time if you need to ship stuff or wrap stuff, because guys are really bad about procrastinating on gift giving. So, and now a lot of you may be into the whole cash thing. Just throw $100 bills their way and they'll be happy, right? And that works with a lot of people. I don't happen to like to do that. I like to give gifts. Yes. But I have had my teenage son, not so much my daughter, but when my son was a teenager, he really, really, really wanted cash. So he got cash and cologne. Yeah. But, so, if you're planning on buying presents, if you're planning on shopping online, make your cutoff date next week, depending on where you're getting it from. So, and be looking for that bag giveaway. That'll probably drop Tuesday, I think. Fingers crossed. Hopefully everything goes well. They're not expensive bags, you know, but I will be doing more giveaways as we go because honestly, I don't have room for all this stuff. So what better way than to give it to my subscribers who are helping me out, right? So, you know, friends and family pretty much have their bags already. I've given away several. I've sold some on Facebook Marketplace, and I still am overrun with bags. So this is going to be my first try at a giveaway, and so I want to start small in case I screw it up, and then I'll get bigger as I go. So, but I love y'all to pieces, and as Lewis says, thank you for all the kindness. Yes, thank you, and thank you everybody for coming in. Uh, I know some of our regulars didn't make it tonight, and they'll probably watch it on the replay, and that's totally cool too. That means they're out doing something, right? So, what was it? Randy says, keep smiling, and I don't know, but you guys have a great week, and we will catch you next Friday. Thank you all so much for being here. See you guys.
The key